Woo! Welcome to another edition of Go Long Live with Barry Long the second. I am Barry Long the second, not the first, not the third. I am the second. We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We're live on today'scalifornia.com, live on today'scanada.com. Today is Fed Up Friday. So y'all know what time it is. When it's Fed Up Friday, whatever's got you fed up, whatever's got you fed up, hit us up right now. Type in hashtag Fed Up Friday. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm fed up with the way my Ravens been playing. I'm fed up with a lot of stuff. But we're going to get to all that here shortly. Of course, we're going to talk about the Ravens and the Dolphins game last night. We're going to break down some of these games that are coming up this weekend in college and NFL. And we have a very special guest. But before we get to our special guest, let me bring in my main man, Mo Murphy, as he is each and every single Monday through Friday at noon 30. He is live, the co-host of Go Long Live. How you doing, Mo?
Hey, I'm all good, bro. What's going on? You good?
No, I'm not. I'm on suicide watch right now, bro. You see, I got a Pittsburgh hat on, not for Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's nothing to be upset about. I told you it's a trap game Thursday night.
You called it.
I didn't call the loss, but I'm like, bro, Thursday night against the Dolphins, team
just beat your chest. You did. You called the loss. You called it.
I'm just saying, it's not a knock on the Ravens. We just watched this crazy Sunday. But we watched all the Super Bowl contenders that weren't on a bye week lose. So it's not a knock on the Ravens. It's just bound. Thursday night games are always tough anyway.
Now is not the time for humility. You called it. Beat your chest. All right, we're gonna bring on our very special guest. He is the Ravens super fan. He is one of my favorite guests that we've ever had on the show. He is none other than Captain Defense. He is the most famous Ravens fan out there. I know y'all thought I was the most famous Ravens fan. I'm just joking. No, y'all know damn well I'm not. This guy's in the Hall of Fame, and his name is Captain Defense. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good considering.
See, it's rough out here in Baltimore. It's rough.
Right.
So Captain Defense, let me just ask you. Let's open up and let me ask you, what the hell's going on with the Ravens? Well, I mean, I know we've had 3 comeback from double-digit victories this season, and I know it seems like we get ourselves in these conundrums every single week in and week out. We're always down by some kind of points, and then it starts to feel like, okay, we get one score, we got 3 timeouts, then we can make something happen. And then the way that these games have played out, we've been able to come back. Last night it didn't happen so much, but we still showed a little bit of flash of our ability to come back. What's going on in Ravens Nation?
Well, the number one problem is the defense. We giving up too many big plays. We gave up that 52-yard, I guess it was blown coverage, and the 64-yard blown coverage, and the 49-yard interception. Those are 3 big plays. You know, the defense was playing pretty good relatively because the score was 66-3 most of the time. But those 3 big plays, and then the offense couldn't get going. Because, Miami was playing in that cover 0, daring us to run the ball, which means we had to go to the quick out receiver because it wasn't giving us nothing deep. But, we couldn't get going, and Lamar was under heat the whole night. And, the offense line had struggles, and we couldn't run the ball. We ran the ball for 90 yards, and that's taking consideration what Lamar did. But I'm not worried. It's one game. The Raiders lost, the Cowboys lost, and the Bills lost last week. So put the Ravens in that. But we need to figure out the defense need to get going because I think we ranked 31 in passing yards, so we're giving up any passing yard and missed tackles. Reared its ugly head again yesterday, so we need to get a couple of things fixed before we move on to the Bears.
Now you're Captain Defense, and that's our biggest problem. So do we need to send you in there and wake these boys up? Like we've given up 6 plays.
No.
Of 50 or more yards in the last 3 games. 6 plays of 50 or more yards in the last 3 games. That is not what we're accustomed to as Ravens Nation. Now, I have to ask you this before I let Mo Murphy get in there and ask you a couple questions. So, do you believe that Lamar Jackson is the clear-cut favorite for the MVP? Or do you think he's in the top 3 after last night's performance?
I think he's in the top 5. I'll put him in the top 5, in consideration. He's up there with Rodgers, but I think he's in the top 5 because I'm not really worried about him being MVP. I'm just worried about us getting a home game in the playoffs. But he's in the top 5, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Mo Murphy, you got a question to ask?
So I mean, it's not really a question. It's just kind of a statement. The Ravens have nothing to worry about after losing the game last night. That's just, as an outsider, I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm not a Ravens fan. They're fine. Like Captain Defense said, my Cowboys, got murdered by the Broncos. The Bills couldn't score a touchdown, against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, a lot of teams coughed up. The Bucs lost to Trevor Siemian, prior to their bye week. Like, a lot of great teams have coughed up bad games. The Titans have lost to the Jets this year. Right. So it's nothing to really be concerned about. And it was a Thursday night game. Like I said, prior to the game last night, I was just saying that this is the time for you really have to buckle down and focus, because not only is it tough to play on a Thursday night coming off a Sunday game, but it's also tough to play a Thursday night when you're playing a bad team. Tough to get up for a bad team when you have your focus on the next game. So I guess what is the expectation, because of all the injuries that y'all have had? Y'all are still one of the best teams, if not the best team in the AFC. So have y'all exceeded expectations up to this point based on when you watched all the guys go down off of injury? Marcus Peters, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. Like, you essentially had to go get free agent running back.
Sean Elliott.
Yeah, you ain't got free agent running backs that the rest of the league didn't want. So right now, sitting at 6-3, are y'all better and feel a little more comfortable with where you're at than you thought you would be at the beginning of the season?
Well, at this point of the season, I would have taken this record, but I'm on a firm believer that the injuries are for losers, because that's just the NFL. Next man up. Nobody really cares. But I think nobody really cares what your injuries look like. That's just the nature of the NFL. But like I just reiterated, before the season started, I would take 6-3. Fortunately for us, we got 5 divisional games, and we got a tough NFC schedule. The Packers and the Rams coming up. But I think we need to get stuff fixed. The defense just need to be in the top 20, not 31st, and get more tacklers, because the guys are injured, they's gone. We have to move on. And the 53 guys we got are the guys we going forward. There's no white horse coming in to save the defense, to save the running games. So we just have to go forward. And I think we can, because we got the coaching with the correct attitude, and we got the correct leaders on this team to move forward and get better. So take on the Bears next week and get back there.
So we saw so you obviously saw the game 41-17. We lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. What were your thoughts on the loss of the Bengals, and do you think that they are primed to win the division, or do you think that that was just an anomaly and that we just had a bad game?
Well, I think it's an anomaly for the Bengals, because they got exposed against the Jets, and they lost last week. I think it's between us and the Cleveland Browns and maybe Pittsburgh. But like I said, when we play those 5 games, we'll find out a lot about what we are. But I'm just worried about Pittsburgh and the Browns, not so much about the Bengals, because I think getting better is a stepping process. They took a big leap, but I don't think they're ready for prime time, in my opinion. But they beat us.
Yeah, so I do have a question. They did. I said the Bengals got another fall asleep game. The Bengals going to be the Bengals, and right now they've been the Bengals, losing to the Jets and getting murdered by the Browns back to back. But I do have a question. So you're the Ravens fan of all Ravens fans.
Ravens fan.
All year, the past 2 years.
I don't know about that.
But the past 2 years.
So what I'm fed up with all this modesty this morning.
Yeah. The past 2 years, everyone has spoke for Baltimore as far as what should be done with Lamar Jackson. When should he get the bag? When should he get paid? How comfortable are you with Lamar Jackson as a fan? How comfortable are you with Lamar Jackson being your quarterback of the future for the foreseeable next 5 to 10 years? Like, are you okay if they make that big time quarterback deal that we've been seeing? Are you good with Lamar Jackson getting that deal?
Yes. If I'm comfortable with him getting the deal, because you don't get MVP. You don't stumble on an MVP. You don't get voted number 1 in the top 100, and you're breaking records every week. But what happened is we got to provide the weapons around him. The offensive lines, we're having struggles. But as far as him as a quarterback, I think he is a franchise quarterback. But one thing, he can't be our leading rusher. That can't happen every game, or he won't make it to week 17. But I'm comfortable, to your question, I'm comfortable going forward, him as a franchise quarterback after the season is over.
We are joined by Captain Defense. This is Go Long Live. We are live on CoachellaValley.com, live on today's California.com, live on today's Canada.com. We are all over Twitter. And Captain Defense is the ultimate Ravens fan. And
I'm not, but
you you in the Hall of Fame, man. Today's Fed Up Friday. I'm fed up with all this modesty. And look, I feel bad because I wore a Pittsburgh hat. I just wore it for the colors because I went to VCU, but and Mo and I like to switch up our hats. We like to wear different hats on different shows. But Captain Defense, yeah. One last question. I just want to ask you your opinion on the Odell Beckham Jr. going to the Rams. Do you think that makes him a clear-cut favorite for the Super Bowl?
That's
a yes. That's a yes.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Because Cooper Kupp is the man out there, and
he is.
He's the leading receiver. He's the man, and I don't think Stafford's going to take any through. If Beckham comfortable get 2 or 3 or 4 targets and they win the game, and he's comfortable with that, yes, I think they're one of the better teams in the NFC. But I think it goes through Green Bay.
Wow, that's strong words from.
Then I think it's going to be the Packers. Just my personal thing.
Okay, absolutely. Hopefully it's Packers Ravens. Well, we thank you so much for joining us, Captain Defense. I know you're on a tight schedule, and hopefully you'll come on again after the next big Ravens win, or hopefully not after a Ravens loss. But we'll see you again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you. And you guys have a good evening.
You too.
All right, you too.
Yeah, man, Captain Defense, man, that's my guy. Look, I got a little refrigerator magnet on his face. And I got it on the fridge. And every time we lose it, and the defense giving up points, I go to Captain Defense. I rub on Captain Defense, and I said, "Come on, Cap, we need defense right now."
Hey,
and it didn't work last night.
We got to hit real quick, Barry, on the legendary. Now I'm a married man. We're married men, right?
Yeah.
So we got to applaud our married men when they have legendary quotes in the line of marriage.
All right, so where are you going with this?
Captain Defense. Listen, this is how much he loved the Ravens, all right? His wife, when he first went to get the tickets in 1996, his wife asked him, "Where are you going to get the money from?" And you know what this man responded with? You know what he said?
What'd he say?
"There are a few things we could get a divorce over. This possibly could be one of them." Super Phantom King, let him know.
Let him know.
That is a legendary quote from husband to wife. And it's one of those like, "Oh, you said that? And you got the ticket?
And you're alive?"
And he's had season tickets ever since. So, that's a
but look, I got all he's my friend on social media. He be at the games by himself. He be at every game by himself.
It don't matter. That's a different type of gangster that he established. Hey. Let's put it in modern day terms. Hey, Shawty, if you want to stay with me, you're gonna let me get these tickets down. Like, that's just what it is.
That is pretty gangster, man. As a husband to say something like that. Hey, we are live on CoachellaValley.com. We're also on Facebook. We got a comment from Omar Yakubi. Woo, Yakubi. That last name. That's one of the best last names I've seen. Yakubi. Whoa, VCU, my school. VCU is my school. I went to VCU. I'm a Ram. Not like Odell, but I am a Ram. But shout out to Omar Yakubi. I love that name. But yeah, man, that's a really good point that you made right there. Like Captain Defense goes hard in the paint.
It's legendary though. That's a legendary. That's salute from one husband to another of legendary quotes that got to go in the book of like things you don't tell your wife unless you a gangster and like.
Yo, he straight up told her like, "Yo, we will get a divorce over these season tickets if I don't get these tickets."
Like, I have very few things that I would divorce you for, but this might be one of them. This might be one of them.
Fed Up Friday. I'm fed up with not being able to speak my mind the way Captain Defense speaks his mind. That is legendary right there. All right, so Mo Murphy, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about this game yesterday. It was a struggle. And we've seen the Ravens get behind, 2 scores in 4 different games before last night. Now make it 5, and they've come back in 3 of these games. So last night, I'm hosting the game at the casino where where people come and watch the game at the sports bar at the casino. We're up there with the radio station, and there's a Steelers fan, and this guy's not even wearing Steelers gear, but he sees me wearing my Ravens gear, and then he's like heckling me, like the ultimate heckler. Like every time they got a first down, this guy stood up and was like, "First down!" And it was like, bro, Are you serious? I'm fed up. I'm fed up with these Steelers fans. That's why I'm wearing this Pittsburgh hat right now. Because it's the last time you're gonna see me ever wear a Pittsburgh hat, Pirates hat. I got it because I coach my son's baseball team, the Pirates. But yeah, I'm fed up with these fans taking it too far, man. Like, I mean, it's one thing to have a little bit of fun, jockeying back and forth. Oh, your team's bad, your team bad. But this guy was taking it to a whole nother level, and I'm fed up with it. But I'm also fed up with the way that the Ravens are playing offense, the way that the Ravens are playing defense. Like, we can't get nothing on offense going. We're stagnant. And if you look at the wins that we have, the close wins that we have this season, the Lions, we should not have been in the game that deep against the Lions and needed a 66-yard field goal to win the game. You look at, man, you can go week to week to week to week to week. All these games that we've been winning, we should not have won. Whether it's luck or whether it's just, happenstance or whatever. I feel like the Ravens are relying on that ability to come back, and it's not going to be that way in the playoffs. You cannot get down by 14 points and come back like Pat Mahomes did a couple years ago. It just doesn't happen in the playoffs.
No. So,
after watching last night's performance on offense and defense, do you still think that the Ravens are a true contender? Because these struggles reared their ugly head during the Buffalo Bills game in the playoffs last season. Do you think that we?
Yeah, because the AFC is trash. Like, if you really think about it, bro, like, ahead of them is the Buffalo Bills right now, right? And the Tennessee Titans. So you're right now the third best team. You're possibly the second. We got to see. These teams got to play. But essentially, right now, at worst, you're the third best team in the AFC. If all chips fall into place, you might only have to play one of the Titans or the Bills. The Ravens are better than everybody else in the AFC. The Browns, at least right now. Now, y'all got 5 division games. Division games are tough. Pittsburgh rolling. They looking good. So, but as of right now, the Ravens at worst are the third best team in the AFC. So, yeah, because do I think on their best day, could they beat the Bills or the Titans in a playoff game? Yeah, I do. But the Titans could also beat the Ravens. So could the Bills. So I got to say they're contenders because in the spot that they're sitting in right now, they'll only have to play one of which the Titans or Bills outside of that, which is a team who may be better than them. Outside of that, they're going to be playing teams that they are superior to. So, I mean, you really, bro, look, Baker Mayfield is banged up. Like, I ain't worried about the Browns, essentially. Nick Chubb got COVID. He was injured. It's nothing but he was injured, then he got COVID. So it's like, and we've heard long-term effects on players throughout the season because of COVID. But even still, Baker can't, you stop the run. Ravens come to play defense and stop the run. You really think Baker Mayfield going to shred the Ravens defense? No.
I'm going to tell you right now, man.
He can't.
I watched Joe Burrow do it.
But better than Baker.
What about Jared Goff? Jared Goff didn't shred us up, but he had some good throws.
They had 2 plays. The fact that y'all didn't have 2 big plays is the whole big thing of why that game was close.
You know what I'm fed up with, Mo? I'm fed up with your hatred on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is not the best quarterback in the league. He's not trash though.
Trash. Yes, he is.
That boy won a Heisman.
I don't care. That was college. I don't care what you did. I don't care what you did in high school. You're in the NFL now. Trash. You were the number 1 pick, and you still ain't get paid. Trash. Patrick Mahomes got paid. Josh Allen got paid. You are trash for being the number 1 pick and not getting paid. Deshaun Watson got paid before you did. That's all I'm saying.
So did the masseuses. They got paid too.
But I'm just saying, bro, Baker, he's not overall trash, but he's top 17 to 20. He's in that 17.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that. I mean, you can't go top 10. You can't go top 10.
I don't want a guy who's in the 17 to 20. That means I can win games if I surround him with talent on both sides of the ball. I don't want a guy like that. I want a guy like Dak, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Why was Dak your first choice?
He's my quarterback, and we're good. So I love Dak.
That's my quarterback.
But surround me. Lamar Jackson has every excuse for his team to be bad and for him to be bad this year. Think about that.
Yep.
He's an MVP candidate. Patrick Mahomes, in the second half of the season, they have every excuse for all of us to give up on Kansas City, right?
Yep.
They have the division right there in their grasp if they win this game against the Raiders. This game against the Raiders, sneak preview of one of the games to look forward to in the NFL. This game against the Raiders is going to be big time for them for the second half of the season. you look at some of these top quarterbacks, and it's like they do with no matter what. And Baker Mayfield, like when things aren't lined up, he's not that great. And guess who does just as good a job as him and gets the W when he comes and fills in? Case Keenum. Baker is a little bit better than Case Keenum, but
which is not saying a lot.
You're measuring Baker at paying him Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, hell, Lamar Jackson, who's about to get the bag, Deshaun Watson. Like, that's who you're comparing them to as guys who get paid because Baker's next man up right along with Lamar. Baker not getting $40 million a year if the Cleveland Browns ever want to continue to keep a championship roster. They pay Baker Mayfield $40 million. They might as well just sign up for the number one pick for the next 5 years.
Yeah, you can, like, if you're the Chiefs, you can afford to pay, Patrick Mahomes $40 million a year because he's that good.
Yeah,
but Baker Mayfield is definitely not as good enough to be paid that much money and be that significant of a piece on the payroll.
That expensive of a piece on the payroll. That's the key right there.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going to take up on the payroll. That's why I'm so hard on him. Because before we move on real quick, I'm going to give you an example. This is why I'm so hard on him, right?
Okay.
Baker is still on his rookie contract. So guys who will say, so Dak, anybody from Dak and below, as far as age goes, we're not even going to talk about Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. We're not going to talk about Russell Wilson, anybody in their 30s. We're going to talk about guys who are Dak, 27 years old and below. Dak is better than Baker. Kyler Murray is better than Baker. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, more than likely Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Did I say Kyler Murray? I think I said Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I think I said Kyler Murray.
You just named a lot. Keep going.
I just named 7 guys. Deshaun Watson, whenever he steps back on the field, he's better than Baker Mayfield. I just named 8 guys that for the next 10 years are going to be better than Baker Mayfield. That's not even talking about Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady. I ain't even give you the old guys on the other side of 30. Russell Wilson still might play for another 10 years, but I'm not even talking about
Winston.
Nah, let's slow down a little bit. But like Baker is like Kirk Cousins. Like he's essentially Kirk Cousins. So like, bro, he might not be better. He's probably not better than Ryan Tannehill. Like in these, we're talking about the young guys. We took the old guys out of the conversation. He might not even be top 10 of guys 27 and younger.
Wow.
And you talking about paying that guy $40 million. That's crazy. That's not going to happen. They're either going to have to let him go or they're going to franchise tag him because they'll probably give him the benefit of the doubt because of shoulder injury, but they're going to have to franchise tag him and hope that he makes some noise, bro. Because like you got to look at when your quarterback take that much of the cap, you got to be able to win games with your quarterback no matter what's around them because eventually guys are going to become too expensive because of your quarterback to keep. That's just the name of the game when it comes to football. Your quarterback is the superstar. Just like basketball, when you pay that superstar, you got to know that you can get 1 or 2 more, but at the end of the day, you got to know you can fill the roster out around them because the superstars make all the money. They take all the cap space. So you got to build a team around that guy. And I
like to refer to it as like a pie. Like you got a pie and everybody wants a slice of the pie. And even though you win a championship and more people want a piece of your pie, but the pie cannot change. You can't add a piece to the pie.
It's like the quarterback takes half the pie and then you split the rest in the rest of the team. And so you be like, there's not enough for everybody to go around. So we got to start figuring out what pieces we could keep and what pieces we got to let go. And then you start looking at Baker like, can you keep the ship afloat? And you be like, man, hell no, it ain't perfect. It ain't perfect for me. Hell no, I can't do it.
And you know what? They had to get rid of a guy, a slice of the pie in Odell Beckham Jr., and they did.
That was inevitable. We saw it.
And it was totally inevitable. I mean, he did not have success at all, basically, as a Cleveland Brown. Or he didn't live up to the potential that we all know that he has. So he is now a member of the Los Angeles Rams. And it's kind of crazy because I went and looked up Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr., and these guys sat courtside at numerous games. I mean, in LA and New York. I mean, these guys were good friends. So you have to think that a piece of, going out and getting Odell Beckham Jr., you have to think that, Von Miller was in Les Snead or Sean McVay's ear and saying, yo, man, this guy he's a good guy. He's a locker room guy. He's not he may look like he's too much on TV, but when you get him in here and you get to know this guy, he's a really good dude. And all he wants to do is win. So after we've had 24 hours to really digest this whole pickup, this whole acquisition.
First. Remember that, me and Barry.
Yeah, we did. Right,
we gave it to you first.
No, Mo Murphy gave it to y'all first.
We a team. I do something, you do something, you do something. we gave it to y'all first. We gave y'all the first. We gave y'all the first thoughts on Odell Beckham going to the Rams.
Right. And everything that I've heard, they were only saying what we said.
And just we woke up in the morning and listened to everybody. Come on now,
Peter. Yeah, for sure. So now that we had 24 hours to really let it digest and let it sink in, how do you feel? Do you feel like the Rams are primed to go to the Super Bowl? Because like I said yesterday, I got Rams Packers in the NFC Championship, and now I feel like I'm ready to beat my chest.
It's got to be Super Bowl or bust. So like, for you to say Rams versus Packers in the NFC Championship, I ain't gonna argue with you. I mean, we can say the Bucks, we can say the Cowboys. Who else is in the Cardinals? Those are pretty much the 5 teams. 2 of those 5 teams we expect in the NFC Championship. But with the addition of Von Miller and Odell Beckham, we got to say that one of those 2 teams have to be the Rams. So now we're looking at the Packers, Cardinals, Cowboys, Bucks. Right now, as the NFC stands right now, those are the 4 teams that we're looking at should be fighting for the last spot in the NFC Championship. So you're not wrong, but it's got to be Super Bowl or bust for them. Like they went and they put all their chips in on Matt Stafford because they basically told us that the upgraded quarterback was the difference, right?
Yep.
It has been.
It has been.
They've been just as great as
Jared Goff is a has been.
But they've been just as great as anybody else, and that's just Matt Stafford, right? And then so now we look at the addition of Von Miller last week, and we're like, oh man, you just bolstered the defense. You got Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey. You got Leonard at linebacker. So you're looking at the defense. You're like what else do they need? Like what else did they need? And Von Miller is a luxury, not a necessity. If he does get injured, it doesn't change the fact that the Rams got a really good defense.
That's a good point. He's a luxury. He's a luxury.
He stays healthy. Think about it. They just got 2-star luxuries. They didn't need Odell or Von Miller. And on both sides of the ball, if Von Miller gets hurt and Odell Beckham gets hurt, guess what? We're still looking at the same 7-2 Rams that we've been watching all year. So if they stay healthy, we have to say that worrying about Aaron Donald and Von Miller on 2 opposite sides of the offensive line, crazy. You can't triple team Aaron Donald no more. So look at Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, who's made a name for himself. They about to go 1 running back and 4 wide in that offense. Sean McVay is an offensive genius. We saw it because he had the ultimate offensive success with Jared Goff as his quarterback. Him and Matt Stafford together are going crazy. Offensively, Cooper Kupp is on another level right now, as this season been the best wide receiver in the league. And you add Odell Beckham to that, and you never needed him. So you're adding a 4th weapon. Then you got Tyler Higbee at tight end, but you're adding a 4th weapon at wide receiver that he could be your best wide receiver that you have on the field, even though Cooper Kupp is that guy. Talent-wise, Odell Beckham might be the best wide receiver on that field, but he might be third. He might be 3rd in targets. So like I said, the Rams are benefiting from grabbing 2 luxuries, not necessities, because if both of them get hurt, a lot of people still had the Rams getting to the NFC Championship. Still had the Rams as their Super Bowl team out the NFC because of Matt Stafford. So as long as Matt Stafford and their main pieces that they've had up to this point stay healthy, that just made the Rams deadly, like the team to beat in the NFL at this point. They should be.
Absolutely. He is Mo Murphy. I am Barry Long II. We are Go Long Live. And that is a great point, Mo. That's serious. Because they just added 2 luxuries. They don't need Von Miller and they don't need Odell. But now that they got him, it's kind of like the Bucks. Like the Bucks, they had a great roster.
They didn't need AB.
They didn't need. They really didn't need Gronk because they had Brady and they had OJ Howard.
Yep, didn't need Fournette. Essentially, you had Rojo. You had drafted Keyshawn Vaughn out of Vanderbilt, who was expected to play like that James White role for Tom Brady as far as receiving out the backfield. So everything is just like the Bucks. If AB got hurt, if Gronk had got hurt, like Tom Brady's still surrounded with weapons. The improvement of that defense is what made them Super Bowl champions on top of having the GOAT. But I'm saying like the defense also matched that offense's energy, and that led to a Super Bowl. So I mean, we should be expecting the same thing from the Rams.
Super Bowl or bust.
It was Super Bowl or bust for the Bucks. So where is it not fair to put that same pressure on the Rams?
Yeah, it's Super Bowl.
Supposed to be some offensive genius, and you gave him Von Miller to help his lack of defensive knowledge on the defensive side, and their defense is great, by the way. And then you gave him Odell Beckham. So if anybody should be able to get Odell the ball exactly how he wants it, Sean McVay, right? He's the offensive guru, Their offense has been rolling up to this point. I mean,
imagine those practice battles between Jalen Ramsey and Odell Beckham.
I thought about that because they hated each other.
They did.
Remember back when the Giants played the Jaguars and they was out fighting.
Yes.
So people forget about that. And I wonder, I'm almost willing to bet. First off, I'm sure they're squashed, but I'm willing to bet Jalen Ramsey and Odell had to talk before he signed with the Rams. Guarantee it.
Think so.
Guarantee it. Yeah.
It's that serious.
I mean, that kind of beef, when they were fighting on the field, when it meant everything for Odell to try and fry Jalen Ramsey, and it meant everything for Jalen Ramsey to add Odell to his list of I can guard all of y'all because y'all trash in my eyes. Like that gets that serious. We saw, you know what I'm saying, Andre Johnson back in the day beat up Cortland Finnegan. Like those wide receiver corner matchups.
That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen about like the way he beat him up like that.
Those are the most intense matchups in football.
Yes.
For the simple fact of all the things that we look forward to. Their O-line versus their D-line. Wide receiver versus corner is the one true one-on-one matchup that we'll watch the whole game. And so it gets that intense, bro. The hatred develops. The trash talk the whole game develops. So I'm sure they had to chop it up. They probably already did chop it up. They probably been chopped it up.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like now that we're teammates, it's like one of those things that now we're teammates. We gotta we on the same team. So let's go out. Let's get.
There's some dudes that's like, hey, nah, I don't fool with bro. Like sometimes
it was that deep.
Yeah, I don't fool with bro. I'm not doing that. So you never know.
All right. So before we get out of here, now we got some games coming up on Sunday, and I just want to ask you real quick after I let you know my pick of the week that the game that everybody should be watching this week, and I'm a straight up go after that Browns and Patriots game. They're both 5-4 teams. They're both right there, like second, third place in their division, and they both have started to play well. They both coming off a big victory last week. And I'm excited to see if the Browns can continue their momentum from last week. And I'm also excited to see the Patriots up against a pretty good roster. What game are you watching, and do you want people to be looking out for this weekend?
That's one of them. Like, I'm definitely with you. That's one of my key games to watch. So I'm going to go two real quick, and I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks, Packers, Chiefs and Raiders. Now, everybody know why are the Seahawks and Packers? The Seahawks are trash, but guess what? Russell Wilson's coming back. I told you a second half surge could happen. It's going to start with this game. Seattle kind of is a must win. If Russell Wilson's playing, and we don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is playing yet. So if it is Seattle versus Jordan Love, like if it's Russell Wilson versus Jordan Love, this is a must win game for Seattle.
Jordan hate because ain't no love in that.
This is a must win game for Russell Wilson in Seattle if they want to start the second half surge and they want to, So I'm looking at that game. I'm looking at Chiefs and Raiders because essentially the winner of this game is going to become second in the AFC West. And depending on the result of the Chargers game, it'll be like a tie for first place. But, Kansas City's kind of looking to trend upwards on the second half of the season. The Raiders are kind of trending downwards after that loss to the Giants. So, and you look at their schedule coming up. So you're looking at this matchup and you're like, essentially, this is to take second place in the West, probably take a secure wild card spot. And like I said, I'm with you though. I'm not with you. I'm against you. I think Kansas City can make a second half surges. I'm not saying Super Bowl, but they had a lot of factors to where it's time to turn it around. So, I'm looking at that game too. That's a big game.
Look, if they would have got if Kansas City would have got Odell, then there's no way that they're not making it to the playoffs.
I don't think they need Odell though. Like I don't think they're
McCole Hardman. You good with McCole Hardman?
Yeah,
as your number 2 wide receiver.
Bro, their defense has been the problem. Yeah, their offense has been the problem because Patrick Mahomes been trying to make up for the lack of defense. So he plays a little wild and crazy. Like he makes throws that he wouldn't normally try and make because the defense is so bad. So he's trying to make that extra crap throw for the offense to stay on the field. I mean, Odell would have been a luxury, but they could have used him, but they ain't need him. Like they don't need him, bro. The Broncos are trash. The Raiders about to be trash in the second half of the season. All they're competing with is the Chargers, bro. Like essentially for the AFC West, and they've been there before. They got a coach who's been there before, won the Super Bowl. They got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They got Super Bowl winning stars, and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. They know what it takes in this part of the season and beyond to ultimately become a winning team. So I trust that this Chiefs Raiders game gonna tell us a lot about the Chiefs for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. All right, now you put us on upset alert every week regarding college football. I, for one, I'm going to put y'all on the upset alert. I think Tennessee Georgia game is going to be a doozy. I think it's going to be a great one. I'm not saying the Tennessee is going to win, but I'm saying Tennessee is going to make it interesting, and it will go down to the fourth quarter, and we will really know about Georgia's defense after this game. What game are you watching, and why should we be on upset alert?
So this gonna sound real hateful because y'all know I'm an Ohio State fan, but Michigan on upset alert against Penn State. First off, they're ranked number 6. Penn State's not ranked. They're only 1.5. They're 1.5 point favorites at Penn State. This game is at Penn State. This is gonna be a big time game. This Michigan just got a lot of love, being ranked number 6 now. So the pressure is gonna be on them, to ultimately go in there and handle business. So I'm not putting this on upset alert. Right? I ain't doing it.
You always say this, and then when it happens,
No. I'm not putting us on upset alert. But the game that everybody is going to be paid. Well, first off, okay, I'm gonna put Oklahoma on there too. So there's 3 games. Let me put that Oklahoma Baylor on there.
Oklahoma Baylor, okay.
That's a game to watch. Be paying attention to that. That's going to be very key for Oklahoma moving forward. Being disrespected in college football playoff rankings. If they can win and even win big, that's going to be, come Tuesday, the playoff rankings are going to look crazy. And the committee's going to have to really see how they feel about Oklahoma having been undefeated and beating a number 13 team convincingly. So but Baylor could win that game. So be careful on that. And then Ohio State and Purdue.
Purdue is just
Purdue has beaten 2 top 5 teams. They beat Iowa when they were ranked number 2. They beat Michigan State when they were ranked number 3. Ohio State is now ranked number 4.
Purdue has just been Purdueing it this season.
Does Purdue go for the 2, 3, 4 and knock them all off? Like, they beat number 2 at Iowa. They beat number 3 Michigan State when they were number 3. Do they beat number 4 Ohio State? Ohio State is 19-point favorites, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're 21-point favorites. So Ohio State, the number 4 team, is 3 touchdown favorites. So you just got to watch for that game. Everybody's going to be paying attention. Ohio State didn't look that great last week in the first place, but neither did a lot of the top 10 teams. But Purdue has been upsetting everybody from 2 to 3. So do they get the ducks in a row and upset number 4? So that'll be a game to watch too. But Ohio State going there and handle business. I ain't worried.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. All right, so Mo Murphy, real quick, let them know where they can find you at, boss.
Yeah, you find me at Upper Flames Pod on Twitter, Instagram. Like I say every day, at Mo_Chiefs15 on Twitter, Instagram every day. Y'all already know where to go. Go to offtheballnetwork.com for all your sports season entertainment. Make sure you check us out on Dash Radio on the Nothing But Net channel. Download the Dash Radio app. Favorite the Nothing But Net channel. So you can check us out on Off the Ball Network Mondays, starting at 11 o'clock with yours truly on Up in Flames, going for 5 hours straight. We also got great shows on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So the content is coming, it's pushing. We got articles every day. My guy Kenneth just dropped the article today. Shout out to everybody at Off the Ball Network. I love all of y'all. Y'all put in a crazy amount of work. I could never have a platform big enough to ever give y'all the respect and love y'all deserve. So shout out to everybody at Off the Ball Network.
Shout out to everybody at Off the Ball Network. Definitely doing it big. Y'all can find me on Twitter at Radio Barry Long, and I'm on IG at BarryLong_2. Now, y'all enjoy this weekend of sports. Enjoy the college football games. Enjoy the college basketball games, because we got some college basketball games coming on this weekend as well. Enjoy the NFL, and remember, stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, you are capable of doing anything. So go out and do it. And until Monday, we'll see y'all on Monday. Peace.